Welcome into our first ever edition of 15 Minutes with Hagen. Each week, we're planning to come to you with a relatively short 15-minute discussion with forever Buff Darian Hagen. Obviously, Darian Hagen is on the Mount Rushmore of CU football, and his contributions have gone far beyond what he accomplished as a player when he was a top 20 Heisman vote getter on 3 separate occasions. Darian, you've also been the director of the Alumni Club, an offensive analyst, a director of player development, a running backs coach, and now you're an ambassador for CU football. Tell us a little bit about your new role in the CU football program.
The ambassador role, I don't call it that. I call it the executive director for community engagement, and I'm doing, what's the word I want to use? I'm like a spokesman for the athletic program. So I work with the university president, chancellor, and the AD. It's a really fun role for me because now, instead of, doing all the coaching and the screaming and the hollering and being the bad guy, now I can go out and talk about the program and, to people who are interested in the program from different angles. So I don't have to necessarily, go out and try to, raise funds or anything like that. I'm just being a spokesman for the program and putting the program in a good spotlight, and that's perfect for me because, I like talking and I like the University of Colorado, so there's nothing going to be said wrong. It's going to all be good things that I've experienced, not going to be made up. It's going to be authentic, and when it's authentic, it's makes people feel good.
You've seen Colorado football be the best program in the country, and you've also seen it on tough times. What's it been like for you since Coach Prime took over, just seeing the excitement from folks that are involved with CU football and just to kind of see, the enthusiasm pick back up?
That's been wild because when Coach Tucker came here, it was the excitement was rampant, and then he leaves, and now the excitement that was turned into boiling steam, and then Coach McIntyre, it's been a roller coaster of different emotions, and to see the excitement that he has brought to the program, since January, that's been really crazy. It's been lacking, and it's something that we needed. It was something that the program hadn't had since Coach McCartney. When Coach McCartney and when I was playing here, we were rolling, and then we kind of went outside the family and hired New Heisel, and the rest is history. I'm not saying it ain't his fault. Just things just didn't work, and we had some, in my opinion, in humble opinion, if you have a good quarterback, you don't have to be a great quarterback. If you have a good quarterback who's a natural leader, that's going to make your team that much better. When you have a quarterback that commands respect and he's a leader and people believe in him, then your whole team is pretty much going to be different because as a player, no one wants to see the quarterback on his back. And we haven't had that in a while. And I think Shedeur is a good quarterback. I think Coach Lewis is an excellent offensive coordinator. Coach Kelly is an excellent defense coordinator. Now we just have to play. He brought in X amount of new faces, and now we have to just get together to make sure that it's a good gel. If we can mesh this program the way it should be, no finger pointing and things like that and talking behind people's back. I think if everybody is pointing in the same direction, then the program can be really good this season.
Speaking of everybody pointing in the same direction, Colorado's been able to bring in transfers that they wouldn't have been able to a year 3 years ago. And, that goes down to Todd Solomon and Phil DiStefano creating this pilot program that I remember when the CU was going through the coaching transition this past fall. You made a comment that, things have to change in order for Colorado football to get back in the discussion nationally. And that seems like it's happened. How cool has that been to see just the administration really step up in support football with Coach Prime coming in?
Well, it's been awesome. It's been really, really cool because, I think it's what I think. I think that if you don't give people what they want to be successful, give them a platform, give them freedom to be successful and do the things necessary to be successful, as long as you're doing everything within the realm of the program and within the realm of the rules, I think that you're if you're not giving them that platform, then you're hiring the wrong people. And they've given him the resources, they've given him the platform to go out and recruit and the best people that he can get to come to our program. And coach, President Solomon and Chancellor DiStefano, both of those guys, they along with Rick George, they all deserve a pat on the back, because without those guys bending over and changing some rules and changing some things, this program wouldn't be in the discussion it is right now, with 47 days before the first game.
The main topic I wanted to have on this show is your big charity basketball game that's coming up. You've tried to use Devon's passing to raise awareness for mental health and suicide prevention. And over the past decade, it seems like there's been a lot of support out there. What inspired you to start this charity basketball game? And how do you feel like it honors your son's memory?
Well, my son, he played multiple sports. He was a football player, ran track, played basketball. And we thought that if we could start this celebrity basketball tournament, that we would get a lot of people interested, a lot of people come out and support it. And that's just what happened. Last year we had a guy reach out to us, and I'm like, who is this guy? And he reached out to us and wanted to be a part of it. And this guy happens to be Nate Lofton, Big Easy. He's a former Harlem Globetrotter. So he got wind of it and wanted to be a part of it. And every day, man, it's people calling me, wanting to be a part of it. They want to volunteer. They want to, be a chaperone. Guys want to play and dust their cleats off, not their cleats, but dust their Jordans off, come out and try to do some things. My best friend, James Hill, he called me up yesterday and was like, "Hey, man, do you have enough people? Because if you don't, I'll come out and play." I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm good on you, dude."
Well, you've got a lot of current CU football players that are coming out to kind of lend support, right? That are going to be in the stands on Saturday.
Yes. It's going to be current football, current men's basketball, current women's basketball, and then Evan Batty is having his TBT team. They're going to be there pregame to cheer on the fans and things like that. It's just the excitement that's been generated for this event this season. It's been really awesome. We took a leap of faith and try to get it at the CU Event Center. I thought that if we got it at CU Event Center, it'd be more visible, and we would have more people wanting to be a part of it. And that's just what's happening. So it's just something that Devon, is near and dear. That was my son. It was like that was my twin, and he, unfortunately, what he did was sad for the family, but it's also about the community together. And that's what it's all about. And, people, they ask me, why is it called Boona's Village? Well, Boona was his nickname. And then, he takes a community of people to raise kids and make sure that kids stay off the streets and kids are doing the right things. So that's why we called it Village.
So how can people get involved? What are the details for this year's basketball game?
Well, this year's basketball game, the doors are going to open at 4:30. Tip-off is going to be at 5:30. And, the concession stands are going to be open. Parking and everything is going to be like, it's going to be like running like a CU regular season basketball game.
Awesome. Is there any way people can get involved or donate if they're not able to make it to the CU Event Center on Saturday?
Yes. If people want to donate, they just go to bonusvillage.org and they go to the donate page and they can donate proceeds right there.
Awesome. You mentioned
bonusvillage.org.
You mentioned Nate Big Easy Lofton. I actually got a chance to play on your team in the basketball game last year that was held at Cherry Creek. And yeah, Big Easy was, we went to a zone because he was such a dominant force in the paint that, it's kind of like Coach Prime when he was a cornerback, he'd take up half the field. We could let Big Easy just take over the paint, and that allowed us to float around a little bit, which was nice. And every once in a while, he'd just stop at half court and throw up a shot over his head, and it almost went in every time. So it was pretty cool playing with him. What was your breakdown of my basketball game?
You got some talent, man. That's why I try to get you to come back and play this year. You got some skills, man. And I tell you this, it's not a lot of people who are have the fun, have the smile on their face the way you do when you run up and down that court. So it was a privilege and an honor to have you on my team.
Well, I'm just glad I got through it without getting hurt. That was the goal. And so, but Rodney Speedy Stewart was on the team as well. There were a lot of really cool faces. Parker Orms was back. Derek McCoy. Who all is going to be participating this year?
Let me get that list for you. I'll tell you right now.
Sure.
Let's see. Off the top of my brain, I know it's Derek McCoy's going to be playing again. Bobby Pasavento, Manfred Moore, Marcus Moore, Sean Vanderver is going to be coaching with me. Charles Johnson is going to be coaching. Who else? Ray Wallace is just a friend of mine. He's gonna be playing. It's so many people I can't even think of it right now. I don't even know where I do.
That's a good list you've got though that you just named off. That's impressive. I want to ask you one current Buffs question before we close out on this week's segment, Coach. Charlie Offerdahl, Anthony Hankerson are guys that you coached, and they're still in that running backs room. What are your expectations for those guys as they've been able to survive this coaching transition and made their mark with the new staff in Boulder? Well,
I can tell you this: neither one of those guys are going to be outworked. Both of those guys are going to put their all into it. They're going to give it their best shot, and if given the opportunity and given the fair opportunity to be a starter, I think Anthony Hankerson could do that, and I know Charlie can do that. Charlie is, he's a walk-on, so sometimes, walk-ons don't get fair shake. But you see last season, Charlie got plenty of playing time. He got plenty of opportunity. But I think both of those guys, are really capable players, and they're capable of doing really good things. And I'm just happy that they're still here, and I get the opportunity to sit back and watch those guys thrive.
Awesome. Well, that was fun. Our first of many, hopefully 15 minutes with Hagen. Thanks for tuning in, and feel free to reach out to me with any show topic suggestions or questions you'd like answered on this segment in the future. My email address is adamcm777@gmail.com. Thanks, Darian. This was fun. I appreciate you.
No, thank you. It was awesome. I look forward to having many more opportunities to do this.
Awesome. Sounds good. And thanks to all of you for tuning in.